We are talking the latest Detroit Lions news for you folks today, and in this video, we are breaking it all down. Games took place on Christmas Eve and Christmas. What happened? How it affected the Detroit Lions? Because we're trying to make a playoff push. We're going to break down the clinching scenarios for the Detroit Lions. What must occur for us to make the postseason? We're going to be talking about NFL draft because mock drafts came out, and they have the Lions taking some interesting players. Also, the Rams won the game. Where are we at in the draft spot because of their victory? And we're going to get into Jameson Williams. Is he irritated for the lack of targets that he has gotten? But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of going to prison and to decide to take a shower in front of 5 big dudes that are looking at you very funny with their mouth watering and you decide to drop the soap, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because we took all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. And sometimes being a Lions fan, you feel like you got pounded. Also, take that like button with you and let that bad boy get smashed. Let's get into today's Lions news. Massive game on Sunday for the Detroit Lions as they try to make the playoffs. And right now, heading into this game, they are a 5-point favorite at home against the Chicago Bears, who just got freaking destroyed by the Buffalo Bills. The over and under is 51.5. So right now it's an interesting number, and I think I have the Lions going over that one. And I do think the total over and under for sure is going to happen over there. You got teams that can score. So go ahead and go to chatsports.com/LionsBet. That is BetUS. Put in the promo code LINES125 and you'll get a 125% deposit bonus. If you want to make some money, definitely do the over. I think that's the best one for sure. But for this game, who do you got winning the game? You got the Detroit Lions winning at home in a must-win to make the playoffs, or do you got the Chicago Bears who can run the football, beating the Lions and killing our playoff hopes? We're talking about playoffs? Absolutely. Let's get into the playoffs right now, and we're going to break down what needs to occur for the Detroit Lions to get this thing under control to make the postseason. First, the Detroit Lions obviously has to win out. That is the number one goal. We all understand that. But with that, the Commanders needs to lose or tie in a game versus the Browns, who they play this weekend, Dallas Cowboys, who they play the final week of the year. And I do think this is possible. I really do. I think that's a scenario that can't happen. The Commanders are falling off a cliff. I still think they'll lose a game there. And the Seahawks needs to lose or tie in one game versus the Jets and the Rams. This one's scaring me a little bit even more because the Jets are starting to fall off a cliff. But Mike White could be starting. If that's the case, I think the Jets pull off the victory there. And the Rams, man, they have just been winning as of late. They really are. Let's talk about another thing that's related to the playoffs, and that's eliminating the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers needs to get eliminated because they won yesterday against the Tua Tagovailoa an interception Loa there, and so they're still in the playoff hunt. But the Packers, they need to lose to the Vikings right now. And the Packers are actually a 3.5-point favorite. We got to be Vikings fans, folks. Massive Vikings fans. We need to eliminate the Packers. If the Lions beat the Bears and the Commanders beat the Browns, the Packers are officially eliminated from playoff contention. I don't want them to be eliminated from playoff contention just because of the Commanders beating the Browns. We need the Commanders to lose that game, but it's a possibility they could be. But we need, abso-freaking-lutely, we need the Packers to lose to the Minnesota Vikings. So we're going to be rooting for the Vikings to get a victory here. A lot's got to occur for the Lions. A lot's got to occur for things to go right. I want to make the playoffs. I truly do. We're so close. We have an opportunity at home. If we win at home, though, guess what? Good chance that's all going to come down to Green Bay. Green Bay, the final week of the season. Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. And if it occurs, this should be a Sunday night game. This should be thrown into definitely the spotlight because it's a massive game. If the Washington Commanders lose this Sunday, the Lions win, that game should be thrown into a Sunday night football game. It should be live for everybody to see. And I really want to beat the Packers really, really bad. We need to win, no doubt about it. We got to win, folks. We have to win because that's what we do. We play to win the game. It's going to be difficult, though. Folks, you need to follow me on Twitter. You can find me at Mike Kimber or at Mike Mike. This still will be pop up. It has my picture of like this. So if you see that picture, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Putting some good stuff on there. Starting to get a little bit of massive following and getting information out that's a little bit quicker than we do on YouTube. Let's go ahead and jump into a mock draft by The Draft Network. We're going to get into that right now, but before we get into that, this is what happened with the Rams. Winning, we fall to the pick 7. So now we are at pick 7 and obviously pick 18. Nothing's changed there. I don't really care about pick 18. We're talking about really the Rams pick because I wanted to get Jalen Carter, and it's looking extremely unlikely that's going to happen now. But we're picking at pick 7 and then pick 18. So the Draft Network came out with the mock draft, and with the first pick, the Detroit Lions select Tyree Wilson, edge out of Texas Tech, 6'6", 275, big prospect. He's got a high ceiling. A lot of people like this guy. And when you look at his stats right here, Tyree Wilson has 36 sole tackles, 7 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 0 interceptions. He is a senior defensive lineman transferred to the Red Raiders football program after spending 2 years as Texas A&M. Wilson has been an immediate impact player for the Raiders, showcasing versatility along the defensive front by playing both edge and interior defensive line positions for the Red Raiders. Wilson is listed as gives him a Wilson is a big guy at 6'6", and it gives him a plus size level range alongside the defensive front, making impact plays against the run and the pass. And if you watched anything in this last Lions game, there's one thing that you notice is the Detroit Lions defensive line needs to stop the run. Tyree Wilson is good at that. He's an edge, but he can help stop the run. You put him there with Joshua Pascal, put him with Aiden Hutchinson, Aleem McNeil, the rest of this defensive line. It will help that situation. And we need it bad. We cannot have another game where we're giving up 320 yards rushing. You're not going to win in the NFL like that. You're not going to win playoff games like that. You need to stop the run. Definitely need to get it done. We cannot allow this to happen again. Next player the Detroit Lions selected, and that's pick 18 overall, is Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. He's 6'1", 188. He is a good prospect. Obviously, we need corners bad. So he's got 23 sole tackles, 1 forced fumble, and look at that, 5 INT, 5 interceptions. A guy that gets turnovers. He developed into an impact starter for South Carolina, where he routinely matched up against top competition and conceded very little coverage. He's highly competitive defender that plays the game with confidence and physicality. He's a twitchy athlete with good speed, loose hips, quick feet, and led sticky reps in man coverage. Smith is patient, balanced the line of scrimmage, and has more than willing to crowd and leverage to release and create early disruption on routes. He competes off blocks and tackles. He's an enthusiastic tackler, never passive. I think he'd fit well with what we got going on here with Jerry Jacobs, Kirby Joseph as safety, Jeff Okudah, and the rest of the Detroit Lions defense. We need secondary help. It's no freaking, it's not like it's not known. We need secondary help bad. And you're going to see a lot of mock drafts. CBS Sports mock draft. It was similar, different players, but same positions. Keely Ringo they had taken with pick 8 or 7. Keely Ringo had pick 7. Then they had the Lions taking Jared Verse, edge, out of Florida State. You're going to see corner, edge, quite a bit, and probably some DT. The Lions need help on defense. It's no secret, folks. And I'd be fine with this. Just do best player available. I'd like Miles Murphy, but there's probably a good chance that he's not going to be there at 7, in all honesty, and that sucks. I think he's a great defender, great edge. I'd like to get him, but we just missed out on him. But you're going to be seeing a lot of mock drafts like this, and that's just hashtag facts. Is Jameson Williams a little irritated for the lack of targets? I know I am. But a tweet came out. It was tweeted to JMO, and he liked it. It says, "Get the ball in Jameson Williams' hands. I don't want to hear it." And it's like, it's literally saying the obvious. I think every Detroit Lions fan was screaming in that game against the Carolina Panthers, "Where in the hell is Jameson Williams?" This is the 4th game. And I'm saying this right now, you need to get him more involved. He's not just a deep route guy. He is a great route tree. Good yak. Get him the football. We need to win football games, folks. We drafted this guy. This is not the first game coming out. This is now we're going into his 5th game. Need to get him some more targets. Need to get Jameson Williams more involved. I want to see Jameson Williams. It's time. He's good to go. Get him some more targets. We're talking 1 target's not good enough. We need a little bit more than that. A little bit more than that. And that's my personal opinion. Maybe you disagree, but that is my opinion. We need to get him involved. Folks, in the upcoming videos, we've got videos dropping every single day. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday is the One Pride podcast. You know it all. Talk all things Detroit Lions. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. Everything you need to know to get your latest Lions news.